Great. Hey, everyone. My name is Alex, and you may have seen me before in some Stop Having Kids videos, some Stop Having Kids photos on the Instagram page, just like social media in general. So I just wanted to give a brief intro of like who I am and how I am a part of Stop Having Kids. So I was the Calgary organizer while I still lived in Calgary. And I also do a lot of behind the scenes stuff when it comes to social media. So responding to comments, DMs, so across all platforms. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that good stuff. I've created some content as well, some shorts, like shorts for YouTube and reels for Instagram. And then I also volunteered in Portland while I was temporarily there for a little while. And so yeah, now once I learn Spanish a little better and I'm more fluent in it, I'll definitely start doing some outreach here in Mexico, but I'm just not as fluent as need be. So anyway, so that's kind of who I am, just because obviously usually you see deets in these kinds of videos, but it's me. You get me today. So I wanted to talk about what happened to our Instagram account and just how wild this whole situation is and how ridiculous it is. So last week, Instagram completely nuked our account. We had just surpassed 9,000. I think we were just kind of like teetering just under 9,000, just over 9,000, but we had hit that 9,000 follower mark. And yeah, within just like a few days of that, they completely took down the whole account. So what happened before, we actually had a post that they tried to remove. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was definitely a while ago. And unfortunately, I can't remember exactly what the post was either, but we disputed it and they actually reposted the post. So they had taken it down and then they had put it back up once we disputed it. So obviously, you know, they made a mistake. So that shouldn't count towards, any kind of like strikes against our accounts. And more recently, though, we had created a post talking about how a lot of like our detractors like to tell us to unalive ourselves in the comment section and just calling out the hypocrisy of people claiming how like wonderful life is and life is a gift, this, that, and whatever. And then in the next breath, when someone has a different, belief than them and view procreation completely differently, and in my opinion, like realistically, they immediately tell you to unalive yourself. So it was a post calling out that kind of hypocrisy, and then also the fact that Instagram is totally okay with those kinds of comments, but then you make a post about it calling out people who tell you and tell others to unalive themselves, and posts like that get taken down. So they took down that post. I had edited the post to censor everything. Like I did everything I could to just like remove all of the unalive yourself, like trigger words and things like that, and tried reposting it, and it got taken down again. And so at that point, I just said, screw it. There's just no sense in like trying again. And so disputed that twice, and had asked for like a human to review it, because that way, obviously like an algorithm can't decipher context. It just looks at like certain words. And so I had asked both times if, a human could please look at the post so that they could see that there's context and that we're not trying to tell anyone to unalive themselves. We're not like encouraging or promoting self-harm, all of those things, which go against, violate the guidelines of Instagram. So, yeah, that happened. So realistically, that should really only have been like one strike against our account, even though it was like a, BS kind of strike. And so January 18th, I had logged into Instagram in the morning. I think I maybe made like a couple, like added to the story, responded to some DMs. All was well. There weren't any like warnings on the account or anything like that. And then logged in the afternoon, and all of a sudden got this like error that the account had been suspended. And so I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm just going to pull up. So initially what it said on the, like, when you logged in, it said, we suspended your account on January 18th, 2023. There are 30 days remaining to disagree with this decision. So when you read that, it makes you think like they just suspended the account, right? Like that doesn't mean that it's disabled or anything like that, or that they're like trying to take it down or like completely removing the account. So they use a lot of like Orwellian speak in these kinds of things, which is really frustrating. So it says, what does this mean? Your account or activity on it doesn't follow our community guidelines on account integrity and authenticity. And so I have like absolutely no idea what that means. Like, there's no examples. Like, what does that mean? Account integrity and authenticity. Like, the account has always been the same thing. Like, it's not a fake account or anything. So. And then it says your account is not visible to people on Instagram and you can't use it. What can I do? If you think we made a mistake, you have 30 days after we suspended your account to disagree with the decision, or your account will be permanently disabled. There are 30 days remaining. So it says here again that they suspended the account, but when you look at the definition of what a suspension is, it gives you like a timeline that it ends, right? Like a suspension isn't an indefinite thing. That would mean like termination or expulsion, not suspension. And so again, they use like this very vague, very Orwellian type of speak. And it's so extremely hard to decipher exactly like what you've done wrong. It's so broad. And so it just has this button that says disagree with the decision. And all you can do is just hit that button. And then it gives you this kind of like update on the next page that says, okay, thanks for, submitting your disagreement. We'll get back to you in 24 hours with our decision. And so they get back to us and like we try and log in. It was like well over 24 hours, probably like 30 hours or something like that. And the account was totally disabled. It says your account has been disabled for violating our terms. Learn how you may be able to restore your account. And so you click on the learn more option, and then it brings you to this other screen where essentially it says, learn more about your account. Your account has been disabled for not following our terms. You won't be able to log into this account and no one else will be able to see it. And then it says, if you think this was a mistake, please let us know. And you can click on the hyperlink where it says, please let us know. And so that's what we did. And then it actually gave you options to be able to use real words to essentially like state your case as to why you think it was a mistake, why the account should be reinstated. And so Dietz filled all of that out and essentially kind of explain everything that I just explained, and then just made the case like why the account needs to be put back up. Like, we've done absolutely nothing wrong. We haven't violated any of the guidelines. So the only thing that I can think of is that perhaps there was like some sort of like mass reporting thing going on, because it was like the day before, like a couple days before, we had just made a post about and had tagged Matt Walsh in it. And it was about people saying like, oh, why don't you adopt? And essentially like how natalists, when, you know, we encourage people who do want to have children to adopt, they always like throw it in our face like, oh, well, how many kids have you adopted? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, we're anti-natalists, and like, and also like a lot of people just want to remain child free, but not everyone wants to have children. So like, why would you want to force someone who doesn't want to have kids to go adopt and foster? Like, it makes no sense. It's very illogical. And so we made a post about that and had tagged Matt Walsh in it. So I don't know if maybe that was a thing, or just or just maybe not that may not have been like the catalyst, but perhaps people have just been reporting our account so much lately that maybe that's what triggered this. That's what caused it. So I'm not 100% sure what exactly is the issue with that. So it's really, 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 really annoying. So as of right now, that's kind of where we're at. We haven't heard anything back from Instagram. And it's brutal because there's no emails. There's absolutely no records of anything. The only records that we have are just the screenshots that we've taken. So you don't, like, there's no record of communication. You literally are just in the dark with this stuff. There's no idea of, like, you just don't know what happened. You know, and yeah, there's absolutely no record of anything. So it's really, really frustrating. Just the way that these platforms are set up. Everything seems just so arbitrary. You know, it's impossible to really talk to a live human. Everything's just an algorithm. Everything's just like this AI. It's really dystopian. And it's unfortunate because these platforms have become like our way to, you know, get our messages across, whether it's antinatalism, whether it's, you know, animal rights, whether it's like human rights, whether, you know, you want to talk about like any kind of like topic really, you know, that's just kind of like where we're at right now. And we're stuck with these platforms. It really sucks because there was so much time, so much work put into that account. It was the account where we got the most engagement. It was the account that was just the most successful out of Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It seemed like it was the one that the most amount of people saw our message. So it really, really sucks. And what I've done is I've actually set up an appointment with, so on Facebook, when you have like a page set up, you can actually, it's called like Business Suite. And anyways, you can set up a marketing call with like a live human. And so I did that for next week. It's on February 2nd. And I'm just going to use that opportunity. Like it's not going to be about marketing, obviously. I'm just going to use that opportunity to try and get a hold of someone at Instagram, and maybe that person that I talked to from Facebook, because they're all the same, like whether it's Facebook or Instagram, it's all owned by Meta, which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. So, yeah, so I'm hoping that this Facebook marketing person will be able to put me through to someone that can help me. So I don't know what else to do. None of us really know what else to do about how to get this account back. But all of that work is totally gone. We didn't have a backup account. We didn't keep every post and every caption, like the photos and the captions and the hashtags. Like we never kept that work, you know, like once it was posted, it was deleted off of our computers, our phones, etc. So it's all gone. It's all gone. Well, actually, it's not all gone. Instagram is holding it hostage. And that's the crappy thing is once you sign up to these platforms, your work is not your own anymore. Um, Although it technically belongs to you, it actually belongs to Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. TikTok is like the worst. But anyways, um, so yeah, your work belongs to these platforms now. It's not your own, and they can just take it down for whatever reason whenever they want. And it's nearly impossible to talk to a live human being at these places, and you're kind of just like at their mercy essentially. Um so yeah, that's the story of how our Instagram got nuked into Instagram oblivion, the metaverse oblivion. It really, really sucks, and hopefully we can get it back. I guess one thing that people can do is maybe just like DM Instagram and ask them to bring back the account, reinstate it. So if you wanted to do that, we would be totally grateful. It might be futile, I don't know, but it's worth a shot. You can always tag Instagram on Twitter and make a tweet about it. And yeah, same with Facebook as well. So that's kind of it. You can't even email these people, but yeah, so our Instagram handle is at stop_having_kids. And then if you wanted to make a tweet to Instagram and tag us in the tweet, our Twitter handle is at shk_movement. And then yeah, on Facebook it's just Stop Having Kids. So yeah, censorship sucks. People who report accounts just because they don't like the idea or they don't like the information that's being provided, really suck, and they perpetuate censorship. And they should really stop doing that because the best way to, dispute ideas isn't by banning someone or asking to have an account taken down. It's through debate. It's by talking with others. We never promoted violence. We never promoted hatred. We never promoted or encouraged anyone to unalive themselves. We never encouraged like self-harm. None of that stuff. Like, it was just about antinatalism, and people hated it, and it really sucks that they would rather resort to censorship than just move on with their lives. So yeah, that's it for now. Such is life, it is what it is. But thanks for listening, and see ya.